Villegas, Chairman of the California State Athletic Commission. Thank you for coming today. Appreciate your attendance. We appreciate your attendance. First rule of order is to call the meeting to order. And again, we're excited about 2026. It's going to be a fun year, and your engagement and your participation, the public overseeing and commenting and making sure that we're on track is much appreciated. I'd like to ask all of us to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, especially, with current issues happening in the Middle East. We pray for our troops and the safety of our troops and every innocent people in the Middle East. Andy, can you lead us, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, for which it stands, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Mr. Foster, can you take roll, please?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Commissioner Welch?
Here.
Commissioner Gruelle?
Present.
Commissioner Fiore?
Here.
Commissioner Dr. DeMars?
Here.
Chairman Villegas?
Here.
Sir, Dr. Williams and Commissioner Hendrickson are unable to attend the meeting today.
Okay, we have quorum, correct?
Yes, we have a quorum.
All right. Again, welcome. Our community is already off to a great start at 2026. In January, one of our heroes, Muhammad Ali, got his U.S. postage stamp. I hope all of you have ordered or picked up the U.S. postage stamp for Muhammad Ali. He's the third boxer to get a U.S. postage stamp. The others are Joe Louis and Sugar Ray Robinson. A lot of changes regarding the media in our community, and we're excited about the opportunities that and the role that we can play during these changes as we move forward. And then also, I'd like to close on my remarks on an important issue that we are aware of and we want to continue to be aware of, and that is weight cutting and rehydration issues. As we all know, the punch that knocks you out is the one you don't see coming. And we see this coming as an important issue now and in the future, and we want to make sure that we're on top of this issue as best we can. It's a growing concern. We want to make sure that we're keeping in mind the fighters' interests and their privacy issues, or the privacy that they are allowed, but we want to do our job in helping to improve the sport. We've already implemented some of the strongest measures in combat sports to this issue, but we want to continue to address it as we move forward. Some of the key measures to curb weight cutting and rehydration will be licensing fighters by specific weight class on their physical exam forms, requiring verification by a medical doctor that the fighter's weight class is appropriate, taking into consideration their natural walking rate and dehydration risks, increasing our video monitoring weight checks, including early and official weigh-ins with additional checks, testing specific gravity via urine samples to detect and address water loading and dehydration practices, collecting anti-doping samples in connection with weigh-ins and hydration monitoring, suspending or restricting fighters in a weight class after multiple weight misses, which may require them to move up until medically cleared, implementing mandatory next day, fight day weigh-ins, rechecks to monitor excessive weight gain or rehydration, and collaborating with universities, including Harvard Medical and other institutions, to share data and research on safe weight management. After recent meetings with our executive officer, CSAC will increase the penalty for missing weight from 20% to 30%. The fine will rise from the current level in a way to make sure that fighters understand how important this issue is. These changes will take effect on July 1st, 2026. And these efforts build on our longstanding reforms starting in 2016 with additions like first day weight gain caps at 10 to 15% in some rules. While CSAC leads, can you hear me out there? Okay, let me just finish my comments. We continue to lead on this issue in fighter safety, and ongoing work is going to be required to further reduce risks from extreme weight cutting and boxing, MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai, and bare knuckle fighting. I just want to express, this is a growing concern in our community and combat sports, and that we're well aware of it and want to lead on this effort to improve safety if we can. With that, I'd like to move forward on the agenda with review and possible action to approve the December 8, 2025 Commission meeting minutes. Do I have a motion? Approved. Do I have a second? Second. Any comment from the public? Any comment from anyone online?
This is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. If you would like to make a public comment on this item, please click the raise hand icon, or if you're an audio-only participant, you can raise your hand by pressing *3 on your device. All right, and it appears there are no requests for public comment at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Foster.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioner Wetch?
Yes.
Commissioner Gurrell?
Aye.
Mr. Fiore?
Aye.
Commissioner Dr. DeMars?
Aye.
Chairman Villegas?
Aye, motion carries. Thank you very much. Item number 4, the election of chair and a vice chair pursuant to the requirements of Business and Professions Code Section 18606. I'd like to turn it over to our general counsel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Taking over the elections, I'd like to open the floor to the 5 commissioners present for any nominations. First, for the position of chair.
Yes, I would like to nominate Commissioner Villegas to serve as our chair for the upcoming term.
I'll second that.
No seconds will be needed. It'll be deemed in a motion by the nomination. Are there any other nominations from the floor for chairperson? Let's close the nominations and take a vote. Commissioner Gurrell? Aye. Dr. DeMars?
Aye.
Commissioner Fiore?
Aye.
Commissioner Wetch?
Aye.
And Chair Villegas.
I abstain.
Motion passes. Congratulations, Chair Villegas.
Thank you.
Now open the floor again for the position of vice chair. Are there any nominations?
I'd like to nominate Dr. Vernon Williams to remain as vice chair of the commission.
Thank you. Any other nominations from the commissioners? Closing the nominations, there's a motion for Dr. Williams to be elected vice chair. Taking a vote, Commissioner Gurrell?
Aye.
Commissioner DeMars?
Aye.
Commissioner Fiore?
Aye.
Commissioner Wetch?
Aye.
And Chair Villegas.
Aye.
Motion passes. Congratulations to Dr. Williams as the vice chair for this calendar year.
Thank you, legal counsel, and thank you to my fellow commissioners for your support and for your trust in my efforts. This truly is a team effort. All of you have played an important role, either leading certain areas of our commission and the things that we're trying to do, serving as a voice of reason. I love that we don't rubber stamp things here, and we always have different points of view. I think that's what makes us stronger, our ability to communicate, discuss, and reach a decision what's best for California, for the fighters, and for the community. Thank you very much. Next item is the discussion and review and possible action regarding waiving the requirement for an ambulance to be present at small United States Fight League, USFL, events pursuant to Business and Professions Code Chapter 2, Article 3, Section 18646. Mr. Foster?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. After the commission granted USA Boxing the ambulance waiver last year, Joe Stevenson from United States Fight League approached me and says, can we get a waiver as well? Because we've had only one ambulance transport in over 10 years. And it was for a broken arm. And if you look at his track record, he has very, very, very low injury rate. And at the time that the commission approved this, we didn't have that information. This was a new sport. Now we do have this information. Joe's here to make his case to the commissioners and request it. But my recommendation would be to approve the waiver and have it reviewed on an annual basis.
Any questions from my commissioners? Commissioner Wedge?
I don't have a question, I have a comment. And I know we've granted these waivers in the past, but I think the metric that you're looking at is wrong. It's not the number of bouts in any given event. It really needs to be based, in my opinion, on the response times in the jurisdiction in which the bout's being conducted. California, according to a 2025 report, has an average response time of EMS services in California of 17 minutes and 85 seconds, or 17.8 minutes. That's 69% above the national average. Most cities, like San Francisco, strive for a 10-minute response time. So I think that when we look at these waivers in the future, I have no problem granting, the number of fights in the night is irrelevant. I would be more interested in a waiver based on the response time in the jurisdiction in which the bout's being conducted. So if you're at an Indian reservation way out in the middle of nowhere where there's a 25-minute response time, you need to have an ambulance. If you're in the middle of San Francisco where they have about a 12-minute average response time, then I think a waiver is appropriate. But I think the commission should consider that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Wedge. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, I'd like to ask for Mr. Stevenson. Joe, can you come up and speak to the issue? You come up here, Joe.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for your time. I grew up competing in mixed martial arts. Being able to watch the youth persevere and overcome adversity and build resilience not only has been, and make sure that it's safe, and watch kids' personalities become more confident, and everything has been my pleasure. I wrote up a letter. Members of the California State Athletic Commission, thank you for allowing us to provide a platform for youth in California to display their skills as a result of hours of dedication, discipline, and support from their tribes. Since the United States Fight League inception in 2014, we have had 5,390 competitor exposures with 76 minor injuries. This was accomplished by using age-restricted techniques, no slamming, no head strikes whatsoever, and the use of headgear. The USFL events can have up to about 25 bouts, and to promote the sports aspect of youth development by competition, we ask that tournaments have no set bout limits. Like other Olympic sports, such as wrestling, we'll have a gap in between competition of 10-minute recovery. all events are under the medical supervision of a doctor. And with that in mind, we would like to formally request the commission for a variant or modification or relax of ambulance requirements for the USFL. We request that ambulance requirement be to the discretion of the lead official of the, if the following is met. The venue must be within 30 minutes transport time to meet medical golden hour, referring to the critical 60-minute window immediately following traumatic injuries or medical emergencies. The second criteria would be a 15 to 20-minute ambulance response time. Youth athletes safely will always, their safety will always be at the forefront of our organization. We would like to request this modification of waiver without considering all the factors and possible consequences. A secondary effect of the waiver will reduce the costs of hosting events significantly, incentivizing more promotions to have events and help promote the kids' competitive spirits. So this is the statement that I had prepared for everyone.
Thank
But
you, Joe. Any questions from my fellow commissioners? No. I just do want to stress my fellow Commissioner Wedge in his good point about the response time and potential ambulance challenges. You have one doctor on site for the whole event, for the whole day?
Yes, we normally have a doctor and a first responder. So, and just like the Athletic Commission, we don't let any bouts continue if there's any type of injury, like a sore arm or something like that.
How long are your days typically?
An average event can be up to 3 hours, but a tournament, like for a world team trial, can last all day, multiple days. And in that regard, we normally have one doctor, one first responder, and if we have multiple cages, we'll have multiple first responders and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I would make the motion to approve the waiver for jurisdiction. I would make the motion to approve the waiver when the bout is being conducted within jurisdictions with a 20-minute or less response time.
Do I have a second? Second. Any comment from the public? Any comment from someone online?
This is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. If you would like to make a public comment on this item, please click the raise hand icon. Or if you're an audio only participant, you can raise your hand by pressing *3 on your device. I do have a request from Johnny Davis. Johnny, you'll be given 2 minutes to speak and a 15-second warning. Please click the unmute me button when the prompt appears on your device.
Good afternoon, everyone. I was just really curious about the no ambulance concept. Should we just not go ahead and just move forward with making it optional to have an ambulance at amateur events? IKF, we will have ambulances at our full contact events. I think that's just a safe way to go. But it seems like everybody's moving towards not having an ambulance. If we're going to talk about response times, etc., should we just not go ahead and consider that for all of the amateur full contact events going on in the state of California? Thank you.
To respond to that, sir, we're not a full contact event. We have no head strikes whatsoever. Just to let everyone know, matter of fact, you get disqualified for repeated fouls. Like the third foul, the match is over. We use point-based scoring system to guarantee a criteria of proper scoring. We don't promote technical knockouts. If the kid gets dropped with a body shot and wants to continue, we'll give them more than enough time to recover. That way they can persevere. So we're, once again, not a full contact.
Thank you. Can you confirm again the age range?
We have 8 years old all the way to 17-year-olds.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments from the public online, operator?
This is the moderator. There are no further requests for public comment at this time.
Thank you. Hearing none, I'd like to call for the vote. Mr. Foster?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioner Wedge?
I'm sorry.
Commissioner Wedge?
Aye.
Commissioner Grewell?
Aye.
Commissioner Fiore?
Aye.
Commissioner Dr. DeMars?
Aye.
Chairman Villegas?
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, everyone, for your time.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I would like to address the comment from the individual online. We take all items on a case-by-case basis. We don't make our decisions what's best for everybody. It's always on what's best on a case-by-case basis. I just wanted to clarify that. But thank you for your comment and bringing that to our attention. Next on the agenda, discussion, review, and possible action regarding firepower promotions request to hold an event using modified mixed martial arts rules as California Code of Regulations, Title 4, Section 533. Mr. Foster?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is Firepower is Tom Anderson. Many of you know him. He does the A1 events all throughout the state, but largely at the Hard Rock Casino here in Sacramento or in Wheatland. He's done over 40 events with the commission since Firepower began, and he approached me about doing a kind of a modification of the mixed martial arts rule set. And I don't believe I have the authority to grant it on my own. So that's why he's here. He wants to use Rule 533. There's some debate about this because he's already approved for mixed martial arts. And he's not deviating from that exactly, but he essentially wants to have stand-up fighting with MMA gloves. You guys all read the rules. The only, and my recommendation to this commission is going to be approval with the caveat that for the first event, I don't want to see a 5-rounder just yet. I want to look at it first. Okay. This commission approves bare knuckle fighting. This is, to my view, this would look like that in some respects. But we already do mixed martial arts. We already approve things that are much more dangerous than what Mr. Anderson's asking for. And I'm sure if the fighters are versed on his rule set, then it would work out. I have high confidence in his ability to promote this and his ability to have this go successfully, with the caveat that I don't want to jump into 5 rounds at the first one.
Is this happening in any other state?
Sir, variations of this are happening other places, but this particular rule set's not happening other places. This happens frequently. You have essentially like gentlemen's agreements with mixed martial arts where they just sit in there and punch each other. You see some UFC fights that look exactly like what he's wanting to do, but this is essentially stand-up fighting with MMA gloves.
Pretty much already have that. I mean, honestly, if people who are in MMA that aren't any good at grappling, that's what they do.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead, Commissioner.
Do you feel there's going to be any challenge for our officials, referees, or the judges to score these events with this modified set of rules? Is my first question. And the second was limited ground exposure. No ground and grappling, but ground and pound, which I'm assuming is a term of art. So maybe talk about that, because it sounds like that goes beyond what we do in bare knuckle. That seems like you can strike an opponent while he's down on the ground. So those are my 2 questions. Sorry.
I don't think that our officials will have a hard time scoring this because it'll essentially be the same scoring criteria as mixed martial arts, with damage being the damage is fairly, with the ground and pound, piece of it, I'd like to hear Mr. Anderson kind of explain
Yes.
that
Okay.
piece of it.
Mr. Anderson, can you come up? Thank you very much. You can come right in the front. Commissioner Lutz, you want to wait until he speaks? Or you
I have another comment, but I had the exact same. I don't understand what standing ground and pound means.
Okay. Mr. Anderson?
Oh, got it. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Anderson.
Great. Good morning, Commissioner.
Press one time.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, thanks for your consideration, your time this morning. As Andy said, we've done 40 plus club level shows of full rules, unified mixed martial arts, professional. We looked at this modified MMA rules as a vehicle for a lot of our fighters who are not prospects for the UFC. A1 Combat is our job, and I don't have a problem telling anybody, my job is to develop fighters for the UFC. Young kids, 6-0, great fighters. They're going to go up to Contender Series and move on and be part of the UFC. That excludes a lot of fighters from fighting on our shows and a lot of the other promotions that have these marching orders. So we thought, I've got a lot of these kids that have great striking and maybe not such a good ground game. And how can we keep these kids fighting? They all want to get on the cards and they all want to keep fighting. So we said, there's been a couple other promotions on the other side of the country that have dabbled in this, and they're very fast paced, 3-minute rounds. Still MMA as far as, a 5-rope ring, 4-ounce MMA gloves. But what we're proposing now is there's no groundwork. There's no chokes. There's no takedowns. There's no slams. There's no knees. There's no kicks, right? So what do we have left? We have striking and we have elbows. And I didn't want to, change the unified MMA rules that didn't need to be changed. The medical portion of it, obviously, all the requirements that any professional fighter would have to fight, the pre-fight, the post-fight, and all that. So we're not touching that. We're not touching the scoring. It's based on damage, just like any other MMA fight. So that was my intention. Is not just take away the weapons. I'm just taking away weapons from these fighters. No, you can't use your knees. No, you can't kick. No, there's no takedowns in jiu-jitsu and all that stuff. As far as the ground and pound, now unified rules, I can take you down, I can mount you, and I can sit on you and strike, elbows, punches, whatever. We're not eliminating ground and pound, but the difference is it's standing. Both feet are on the canvas. I can stand over you and reach down and try and punch you. That's it. Now that gives a fighter a great opportunity, if I'm not sitting on you, to get away and get back up, especially if I'm not throwing knees and I'm not throwing kicks. So that's why we left the ground and pound in, but the modification is 2 feet on the canvas. The clinch work is very limited. No underhooks. The referee, and what we're proposing in this is they clinch for a couple of seconds, and the referee can break it up and separate them and get them back to fighting. So that's the what it is, and then the why it is. Why am I? I've done 40 MMA shows. Why am I all of a sudden want to do this different thing? And it's because I see so many pro fighters out there that aren't getting fights, that are calling me, hey, can I get on the card? I said, no, you can't. I'm sorry. But very exciting fighters. And I can name a dozen kids from Sacramento right now that would really excel at this and give them, not, for lack of a better term, a second career. Because, hey, this kid's exciting fighter. He's a great striker. He has terrible ground game, but here he is. He's making good money. He's moving his way up into this modified MMA, and he's happy as a clam. It's very exciting. You know, I could name a few kids here locally that they're very exciting strikers, and everybody wants to watch them. But you know, you know, me and a lot of other promotions down in California, we're not investing money in those kids.
Oh.
Whereas in this case, I would absolutely invest money in these kids to
Okay.
put these fights on.
We have some questions, Mr. Anderson. Commissioner?
Yeah. First of all, for my fellow commissioners that haven't attended any of the A1 events, I've gone, I think, to 5 in the last 2 years. And if we're going to approve this kind of new format, I have complete confidence that they would do a good job of it, because they're very well done professional events. I have a couple questions. Do you plan on just doing standalone events? Or are you going to intermix these fights in with regular MMA ruled fights?
I'd like to do standalone events. That's why we're proposing the 5-rope ring as opposed to a cage. Just for I don't want to confuse the fighters, and I don't want to confuse the audience, and I don't want to confuse the refs or the judges. It's like,
Yeah.
no, this is what we're doing tonight.
That's
all
that
we're
was
doing
my
tonight.
concern, is that we should probably require them to be standalone events so we don't have those types of issues. And then my only thing is going forward is we should look at this concept of a standing ground and pound, if that increases the number of strikes behind the head. Because if somebody's on a knee and somebody's striking down and they're trying to get out, I think the preponderance of those types of blows might increase, but I don't think we can reach that conclusion today. But thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Anderson?
I
No,
guess
go on.
just you're saying in your typical events, you're preparing fighters to go to UFC. Are you looking to prepare fighters to go into bare knuckle fighting, or what's the path forward to these fighters after they've had these events with A1?
I think this is my own personal opinion, and I'm not casting any shade on bare knuckle. I mean, they do great events. I think this is a great option. I mean, they do have, these kids are looking for once they realize, hey, you know, I'm 5-5. I got 5 knockouts and 5 submissions. I probably just try and do some striking or try and go into boxing, you know. But I think this is a great alternative sport. And no, I'm not trying to develop them to go anywhere else other than make money in our organization with the modified. And I'm sure, I would imagine other promoters in this state are going to see this and go, wow, this is great. You know, this is a great option.
Any other comments, Commissioner DeMars?
So would it be fair to sum this up, in your opinion? You're going to give more opportunities.
Your microphone, Commissioner. We're just going through daylight savings time challenges, folks. That's all.
Yeah, I just flew in from New Jersey, so I'm barely awake. Would it be fair to sum up your position then? This is going to give more opportunities, and it's actually less dangerous than other things that we license now. Would that pretty much be it?
I don't know what happened. Yes, absolutely, 100%. Less, in my opinion, my personal opinion, considerably less dangerous, and more opportunities for the fighters to fight up to, you know, the end of what would be their natural career in MMA, despite whatever their records are.
Any other questions? My question's similar to Commissioner Gruelle. If your mission is to prepare fighters for MMA, that adjusts your mission now that you'll be focusing? Do you have the bandwidth to do both now, prepare fighters for MMA and do this?
Our organization, absolutely. I mean, we have the bandwidth and the platform to do a show every 2 weeks if we choose to. But yeah, we'd like to mix it between the A1 Combat UFC Fight Pass show that is developing fighters for the UFC, and then this other product that is is keeping all the other kids fighting that don't fit the profile of a prospect.
And the pay scale will be equivalent to existing?
I would imagine, just knowing the guys that are going to be fighting on the modified, they'd probably be getting more money than as opposed to fighting on our A1 Combat UFC shows.
And Mr. Foster, you want to, your recommendation, if we approve this, is a 3-round max, the first show?
Yes, just the first one, sir, because I'd like to see it. I'd like to look at it. I mean, there's some things that we might not
Right.
be thinking of. We might learn something, and then after that, suppose we can just take it just like regular bout approvals, 3 or 5s, and we can look at it. But 5 should be the rare, 3 should be the normal.
And Andy, just to follow up, we, not to conflate bare knuckle with what's being presented here, but we did strongly suggest, and I think it led to a change, no more bonus rounds. Because that kind of feels like a bonus round, having an extra round to try to.
Correct. And I don't
So
think
we didn't allow that for bare knuckle,
for
correct?
bare knuckle, and I don't believe that they're contemplated here, the bonus round.
Sounds like it is a bonus round. 'Cause they're
in the
saying if
in the
it's tied,
modified
they go to a
rules.
5th round.
Hold on, Mr. Anderson.
Oh, pardon me.
I just went in the materials. It sounds like when I read it, they're saying if there is a 4-round fight and there's not a clear winner, they would have a 5th round. That's like a tiebreaker, which sounds a little bit like a bonus round.
Yeah. That's that on the first one, Tom, and really on all of them. We don't. I think the commissioner. We don't like. We didn't do it in bare knuckle, and we would prefer that not be done.
Okay, yeah. We're proposing 3-minute rounds, and if it's a draw, it goes to a 4th round. There wouldn't be a 5-round fight in this proposal unless it was a championship. So we could do away with that, and we could just say if it's a draw after 3 rounds, that's what it is. It's the draw.
Your likelihood of a draw in a 3-round fight is limited.
Pretty slim, yeah, with this rule set.
I mean, and especially with the boxing rules not being intact, knockdown, you're probably going to have multiple knockdowns, and it's not going to be. I would say that the scoring, and I'll have to work with the officials on this, the scoring is going to look like a combination between mixed martial arts scoring and bare knuckle scoring, and very much deviation from boxing. So one knockdown is not going to be a 10-8
right
without the damage to go along with it. Does that make sense? Like, yeah.
And Mr. Anderson, your weight level, your weight scales will be the same as your MMA?
Identical. Yep. Start at flyweight and go up to heavyweight. Yep.
Okay.
Same.
Okay. Any other questions? Do I have a motion?
Wait, I do have a question. So is this going to be for both male and female fighters, or what's your plan now?
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
Do I have a motion?
I'll move to approve with the condition set by the executive director.
Do I have a second?
Second.
And the motion includes 3 events, no more than 3 rounds for each, no tie-breaking bonus rounds under the modified MMA rules, and then bring back before the commission the results of those 3 events.
Correct.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any comments from the public? Any comments from the public online?
This is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. If you would like to make a public comment on this item, please click the raise hand icon. Or if you're an audio only participant, you can raise your hand by pressing *3 on your device. All right, it appears there are no requests for public comment at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Foster.
Mr. Wedge,
Aye.
Mr. Gruelle,
Aye.
Commissioner Fiore. Aye. Commissioner Dr. DeMars,
Aye.
Chairman Villegas.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you all. Thanks.
Please work with Mr. Foster on the items that we mentioned.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
We're going to remove, as I understand it, we're going to remove the next agenda item, discussion and review regarding authorization of the delegation International Kickboxing Federation, DBA, IKF, Kickboxing Muay Thai Federation, California, to hold freestyle Muay Thai events using 10-ounce open palm gloves pursuant to Business and Professions Code, Section 18646. So we're going to remove that item. Next on the agenda is the discussion, review, and possible action on the 2026 Commission-sponsored legislation, AB 2130, Assemblymember Haney, regarding authority and appropriation for sponsorship contracts, Assistant Chief Athletic Inspector in charge of training and discretionary MMA fund payments, Business and Professions Code Sections 18829, 18613, and 18888.5. Mr. Foster?
Mr. Chairman, this has been a multi-year project that this commission's been working on. And as you mentioned in your earlier comments about this being a teamwork type thing, each and every commissioner has contributed to this particular piece. And as you know, I started and I talked to you about it, and I talked to Commissioner Gruelle about it, and I talked to Commissioner DeMars. I talked to each and every one of you about this. And what this does is Commissioner Gruelle and Commissioner Fiore got us a meeting with Assemblymember Haney. We spoke with him, and he agreed to carry this legislation. And this was after he had carried the legislation several years ago for the pension fund. So I view this particular piece of legislation almost as a continuation of that. This is a way to fund the pension fund that was created for mixed martial arts athletes, and fund the retirement benefit and the pension fund that's created in 1982 for the boxers' pension. And what this would essentially do would allow the commission to work with a private-public type partnership and get a private company to sponsor referee apparel at every event within the commission's jurisdiction in California. It would also allow the commission to work with our tribal partners to have the tribal logo of the partner that we're at on the referee uniform. It would also allow the commission to work with a nonprofit such as Visit California, if they so choose, to have California tourism promoted on referee uniforms, because we are one of the oversights is arts, sports, and tourism in the assembly. And this commission, our events do promote tourism, especially the big events. So it also allows the commission, as the commissioners know, we have statutory requirements for lots of training in the statutes. And so it creates a assistant chief inspector in charge of training, which is kind of an add-on piece. It's got put into this piece of legislation, which is helpful. And it also, this was Commissioner DeMar's request, and I worked on this, and we got this in at the very end. It also allows, it does two things. So California began to approve mixed martial arts in 2006, but there was a long time between 2023 when the pension fund was enacted. So if a fighter had met the requirements set in the statute, but has since retired, but otherwise would have qualified, it allows the commission, if the funds are available, to be able to go and make a one-time payments to these folks so that they can receive something for their contributions to California's mixed martial arts. And then it also, I had this, we had to talk through this and make sure that this is correct, but it is. So I'm telling you. So say a fighter began their career in 2018, but the fund was in 2023, but they're still competing, and that could very well be the case. Okay. Those rounds from 2018 will count. So it gives the commissioners discretion to make that determination. So if you would like for that to happen, you will have that determination. That's what this legislation does. There's a lot here. But this is Commissioner, I don't want this to be lost on anybody here. This is really a game changer in the way that this state is treating its athletes.
That's right. Again, Mr. Foster, thank you for your efforts on this. You've put in a lot of work. Thank my fellow commissioners for their input, for their guidance. As you mentioned, this is pretty significant in helping our commission, a 100-year-old commission, be creative in funding and continuing our leadership in different capacities in this community. Any questions or thoughts from my fellow commissioners?
I might be a little biased here, but I don't see how, or naive, but I don't see how anybody could be against this, because this is providing support for athletes, number one. Often, when you're in the public eye and you're out there competing, everybody's your friend, and when you're done, we forget. A lot of these young people, they put their body on the line, and it's paying for it now. So this is important to them, and the sponsorship. We're not raising ticket costs. We're letting people who want to promote the sport come in and put money in to support athletes and support training. So I think you did a great job on it. And I know that Commissioner Wetch and you all who actually know more about politics than Schoolhouse Rock, I want to be a Bill like me, have done a great job getting this done. So I think it's, and I know that there are a lot of athletes who are, almost teary-eyed about it, that somebody remembers them. And these athletes who started in 2006 or 2015, they're the reason we have the sport.
Yeah.
So I think it's really wonderful too that you didn't forget about them.
Yeah. Our commitment, we're the only commission in the United States of America that has a retirement fund for MMA fighters and for boxers. The only one. And we're proud of that leadership, and we'll continue to build upon that and focus on our fighters after they leave the ring. So I'd like to ask for a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any comment from the public? Any comment from folks online?
This is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. If you would like to make a public comment on this item, please click that raise hand icon. Or if you're an audio-only participant, you can raise your hand by pressing *3 on your device. And I do have a request from Erica Friedman. Erica, you'll be given 2 minutes to speak and a 15-second warning. Please click the unmute me button when the prompt appears on your device.
Hello, Erica.
Good morning, commissioners. This is actually about item number 7. There are many people on the webinar and some who traveled in person to speak on item number 7 today. Can there
We're not speaking on item number 7. Let me address that after we finish this motion.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Any comments regarding this particular item, moderator?
This is the moderator. It appears there are no further requests for public comment.
Okay, Mr. Foster?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioner Wetch?
Aye.
Commissioner Gruelle?
Aye.
Mr. Fiore?
Aye.
Commissioner Dr. DeMars?
Aye.
Chairman Villegas?
Aye. Motion carries. Congratulations, Mr. Foster. You did a terrific job, tremendous work. To my fellow commissioners, each of you put in your own individual passion, intelligence, skill set to make this happen, and it's very significant. So congratulations to all of you.
Could I just make since we're on this topic now, I think we should go back and revisit for the next legislative session, carrying a bill to expand the state's 50-50 raffle at sporting events, and dedicate the 50% that goes to the charity to go towards these 2 pension funds. I was involved in that legislation when it was done. It's limited to NBA, NHL, MLB, and NFL. But I was in Nevada recently attending a UFC event at T-Mobile, and I watched intently that raffle. It raised $75,000, half of which went to whatever the the charity was, but that, would be comparable to what we could raise here, significant.
Definitely. As we always have, I encourage all of our commissioners to be creative, to come up with ideas, suggestions that'll help us continue to operate at a high level. So congratulations, everybody, and thank you very much. To the individual regarding item number 7, the individuals that recommended or requested to be on the agenda indicated that they'd not be included in this particular meeting. So I'm sure we'll come back to that at some point when the information that is required for the meeting can be provided. But today, and hopefully maybe at the next meeting,
If I might,
that'll be sufficient. Is that accurate?
and I'd just like to add that the delegation that asked that this be put on the agenda informed our office at CSAC that it did not want any of the information provided to get into the hands of the public. And under the California Uniform Trade Secret Act, IP or intellectual property, as they defined it in the delegation's email, must be kept private. And I have advised the commission to not hear this matter or review any documents or make any documents public to limit their exposure. And the delegation was advised of that on, I think, by the assistant executive officer on March 2nd, so a week ago this morning.
Okay. Tony, you have this is your item. I'll let you make one comment to this question, but because I want to be clear and on the same page.
So I'm actually very surprised to hear.
Your microphone.
Is that working? Okay. I'm actually very surprised to hear that this has been taken off of the agenda. And I will address what was just said is in all of the information that we sent over to the commission, which included our rule set, spec sheets for gloves, video footage, statistics, all kinds of information. My one request was that normally all of the materials are put on the website and made public. And my request was that just our specific rule set not be placed on the website until after the commission had a chance to review it and either approved it or did not approve it, only because this is proprietary information for the IKF. And obviously we have plenty of other organizations out there. We did not want other organizations to take our specific rule set. So that was the one and only thing that I had asked to be not placed on the materials, but everything should have been sent to the commissioners with all of our other information.
Our meetings are public, so they have to be, everything has to be transparent, including the rule set.
Okay, well, I was never told that if we requested the rule set not be posted, that we would not be able to have this agenda on the item. And we have had numerous instances of our rules, our paperwork, everything being copied and pasted by other organizations, which is why I had requested that.
I believe you were informed on March 2nd.
I was informed on March 2nd that they would grant my request that they would not put the rule set on the materials on the website. They never said anything about it would prohibit us from speaking today on this agenda item or that it would be removed. We have people who've flown up from Southern California to be here today for this agenda item.
And the email I believe the chair is referring to, and I'll read it verbatim, concludes, "We will remove this item from the March 9, 2026 commission meeting agenda."
I don't recall seeing that on the email.
You responded, thank you.
I did respond, but I responded to the fact that they were not going to post it onto the materials on the website.
Okay, Commissioner, you have a question for council?
Yeah, I mean, Doesn't the California Public Records Act require us, if we have something submitted for approval for rules for a public event, to make that available to the public?
Yes, we are doing, as the chair said, the people's business, and it must be transparent and open to the public. When
Thank
it
you.
was requested to be
Thank you.
withdrawn, it was tabled. This item was tabled pursuant to that email.
Yeah, we're following our guidelines and our compliance.
Okay, well, that was never made clear to me, and that was certainly not my understanding, because we have so many people here waiting to hear this agenda item.
I understand that, but unfortunately, until we can be transparent with all issues, the item won't be heard.
Mr.
Okay.
Chairman, we also have a public notice requirement. So if it's been removed from the agenda, we're prohibited from California law to have it heard, because people who may want to speak on the issue and saw that it was removed are not here. So we're bound by the law in this regard.
Okay, was there a change in the agenda that showed that that item was removed? Because as of yesterday, the day before, we were still on the agenda. So,
But there's a 10-day, council, can you mention the 10-day once we've given notice?
The item was agendized. The materials provided to the public indicated that this matter has been tabled. And it was tabled on the advice of counsel.
okay, so nothing was changed on the agenda then, but internally, it was taken off, correct?
There's nothing internal about the meeting materials that were published for the public after you informed us to keep things private, and that matter was tabled publicly.
Okay, I would just
right
like it
after-
noted that we never requested that this was taken off. I was not notified that it would be gone, and it still did show up on the agenda. So there lies the confusion
It
on
wasn't
this.
taken off. The material that we are required to have, legally required to have, we don't have. You don't want to provide it. And until that is provided, we can't be, it won't be heard on the agenda. These are compliance. These
I
are
understand what-
laws and rules, not personal.
I understand what you're saying. I think that our request was perhaps taken out of context and was not clearly explained to us, the ramifications of us not wanting our rule style to just fall into the hands of other people. So-
Well, we're not going to be able to solve this today, because unless you could provide the rules and the request, the material and information that we required.
So can I ask, did the commissioners never get all of our information?
Yes, we got the information that you provided,
Okay,
but the public information that is required per your request we need to have it for the public.
mhm. Okay, so just, I want to be clear, so
We
this
got
will
the
not
information.
ever happen in the future.
Yeah, we got the information you provided, but the
Thank you.
public is required to see the information as well.
Okay, so because we asked that the rule set not be posted on the website openly,
Right.
that indicated then that our agenda item should be removed.
Right, and based on the email exchange on Monday, March 2nd, the communication, actually started on Sunday, March 1st, the communication led to that information, led to that decision.
Okay, that's extremely unfortunate, but now we understand that.
So please work with the office to ensure that we have our I's dotted and our T's crossed and all the information that we're required so that we can hear it again on March, on our next meeting in LA. And maybe if we could do it even sooner, we could have a one-off if we are comfortable with that via Zoom.
Okay,
Because you are a partner, we want to make sure that we are sensitive to that. But we are required by laws and regulations we have to comply with.
okay. So now I understand that rule. I wish that would have been explained to me, because unfortunately, like I said, we have people here from Southern California that have bought airline tickets and everything to be here. So if we would have understood that, we certainly would have changed that. So
Okay. Thank you, Tony. Moving forward on the next, no more items to be voted on. We'll move to our executive's report.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. Mr. Chairman, it's my great pleasure to ask the commission to recognize one of our longtime boxing judges. Also did mixed martial arts for a while as well. Susan Thomas Gitlin has retired from being an official, but she's here. You and I signed her certificate, and just wanted to provide this to her.
Susan, can you come up so we can see you and celebrate you? You want to make a comment? Thank you for your years of service and your leadership. And Mr. Foster has a certificate for you. Sure, if you'd like to say anything, you deserve it.
Oh, okay. Thank you for having me up here. I'd like to say that when I started this journey, I was one of 2 women in the whole state of California. I was Northern and there was the lady down South. We earned our way. We didn't have to fight, but we could. But it's a real honor. It's fun. It's also nervous when you judge because you are taking someone's livelihood in your hands. So it's an important job. And I've loved it for all the years I've done it.
Wow. Thank you. What year did you start?
Oh, God. It's been about 50 years.
How long?
That long. 50.
Wow. Well, congratulations, and thank you for your passion. Thank you for everything you've done, and we appreciate it. Are we going to take a picture with her? Where do you want to come up here?
Oh, up behind? Or, yeah?
Can we give her a round of applause?
You want your daughter to come up?
Well, sure. And my son-in-law is here too. If they would like, I would like. Hi.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's great.
I give you a hand.
Yeah, I don't know what you want. I'm ready to fight.
Keep it up and she'll be dead. That's it. But she'll be here.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you that it won't be good, but it'll be.
Come on, baby. You want to get in the door? Yes.
Oh, you just thought you could move it, John.
Squished under there.
Okay.
50 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Hold up your certificate.
Oh.
I'm not that short, John. All right, we're good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay out of your way.
I'm a grandma, so I'm really nice.
Yes, you are. Thanks again. Congratulations to the coolest grandma and coolest mom. 50 years is very significant, and thank you for being a pioneer for women in this in our community. Moving forward, Mr. Foster.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Yes, Mr. Chairman. Wanted to give you an update on the support fund. As of March 4th, the commission has deposited $1,684,929, $18,409 of the neurological account, and $245,000 to the Boxers Pension Fund, and $13,932.84 to the MA benefit fund. Couple of caveats on this particular piece. As the commissioners are probably aware, the fund of the commission is pretty low right now. The last I checked last week, it was about 185,000. Now I'm expecting some influx of some events, but we're still having to have some working capital because ever since COVID, our fund has went from 1.9 million down to 185,000. So I've requested a $300,000 Section 4 loan from the department. Probably going to get it internally so we can perhaps avoid interest, but just got to have the budget office do it the correct way. And I believe this, it's my hope that this will float us until we get into the summer season where our events come back stronger. I'm not sure we're going to need it, but I know we're going to need the working capital. And then we have various attorney general's fees that I don't really have any kind of control over. They have ability to direct bill. They can direct the fund before I ever see it. So you guys all have a fiduciary responsibility to this fund, and this is why I'm telling you this information. Do you have any questions on this?
Any questions from my fellow commissioners? No? Okay, Mr. Foster.
Okay. The Raymond James investment account, where the bulk of the pension money is held, was $4.904 million as of January 30th. Then, sir, on number C, on the update on the specialty license plate, CHP completed the visibility testing, and that report was pending review and approval by California Highway Patrol. Once CHP is approved, it will go to DMV for approval. So it's getting closer.
Thank you. That's another innovative idea that we have here, so looking forward to that.
Then we have our status updates on delegated entities. One thing that I do want to bring to the commissioner's attention on camo, on the camo portion, is there has been some back and forth among camo promoters that are also CSAC promoters. Camo has a rule about you can't have an event within a certain location of another event. Otherwise, you can't have the event. But that rule obviously does not apply to the State Athletic Commission. So when you have pro-ams, it's creating kind of a problem. I've kind of given JT Steele some direction. I don't think that's a good rule. I think that's I think that we were putting the hand on the scale on promoters when we have a thing. The market should decide which event should be where. If people want to go, they should be able to go, and the promoters can work it out that way. But coming to the regulators after the fact and trying to have things enforced is causing JT and I both. We've spent hours on this subject this cycle.
So when a promoter schedules an event in a location, the other promoters are aware of that?
Well, it goes up on the camo website.
It goes on the camo website, but then there have been times where another promoter will schedule their event in a close proximity to an already scheduled location at the same time.
Yes.
So it's sort of an unwritten rule between promoters that can we be thoughtful about that?
It's a written rule with camo that absolutely, I think people should be thoughtful, but I don't believe we should have to enforce.
They shouldn't have to comply.
And sometimes that's hard to do because you come in and you're, say, a new promoter, and every place on the calendar is taken, and then I have to be, 40 miles out in the Mojave Desert. So it means well, and the idea is that you don't want to have both events lose money, but it also can be difficult. And also, if you're talking, someplace like Los Angeles, there's a whole lot of people live within 5 miles of you in Los Angeles.
Are these often the same, similar combat? I mean, boxing and boxing, or is it boxing and MMA, or different
No,
styles?
sir. Camo is just mixed martial arts. So we're talking about amateur mixed martial
Okay, just
arts.
mixed martial arts.
And how we got kind of involved in this deal in a way is we had one promoter, very good promoter we've worked with many times, but he was promoting an amateur show. And then another promoter was promoting at Commerce Casino. But as this commission's very aware about Commerce Casino, because of the food and beverage minimum, even though it's come down some, it still requires so many events to make that, or so many bouts to make that, is you have to put amateur bouts on there. And that's where this whole issue arose from. And I'm sure JT still can speak a bit more to that. But if you have any thoughts on this, I mean, it would be helpful, because he and I went back and forth with it for hours trying to figure this out.
Have you gathered them together on a call or Zoom to say we need to fix this?
We haven't yet, because JT's in charge of his regulations per the delegation, but obviously I have to enforce the CSAC delegations. We don't have this kind of rule.
Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming there's lots of business rules we don't see with these promoters. Sometimes they might have exclusions in the UFC that we don't know about. I don't know, but I do feel you've done a great job in the past bringing parties together.
Yeah.
And provided them some guidance so that we don't have to step in. But if we had to step in, could the commission prohibit this kind of language in these contracts?
I think the way that we prohibit it is, and JT has this kind of on his books, but you have to have a minimum on the number of pro-am events, like a number of, like, say you have a pro-am. Right now, JT's rule said something like 5. He's changed that, but for years it's always been more, because he gives exception after exception, because for more, it's been more than that. Probably needs to be something hard and fast. I suggested 8, but the amateur promoters are going to put about 20 bouts on their card. That's what they're going to do. The pro event, it shouldn't be okay to have 2 pro fights and 18 amateur bouts. That's not the way this thing should work. So I think that would solve it pretty quickly.
Okay.
I guess.
All right.
What I'm kind of saying is if my advice would be if they don't follow your lead, let us know, and we can come back here in a future meeting and help you create those rules.
Yeah. I suggest you gather them and have a direct conversation with them.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Before you call everyone up, all of our entities and delegated, can we bring up Tony first, since she's here? Because I want to, go ahead, Tony, you can do your report first, because I want to make sure on the item that we discussed that, number one, it's not personal. We have to comply with our responsibilities as a commission and work closely so there's no miscommunication with the office of CSAC. And once that is completed, once there's an agreement on what is required and what we have to put in public, then I'm willing to set a standalone Zoom meeting for you to address it. But you need to comply with the office. I just want to make sure there's no miscommunication.
Okay, I thank you for that, because again, if I would have known previously, obviously that would have been changed. A question on that, follow-up question. Do the materials need to be online for a certain amount of time before the meeting? Is that something that we are able to post now online so that everybody on the call can view them, so that we can have our agenda item happen today?
We can't do it today. We have to review, but I'll let our legal counsel respond.
The agenda for any specially set meeting would have to be 10 days in advance of the meeting, and the materials a reasonable time before the meeting itself.
Okay, so we can't post them right now and have our agenda today.
Correct. We cannot hear the matter today as it's been tabled. I think one of the commissioners explained rightfully that folks that might want to publicly comment would not be aware that it has been untabled. So it's not something that commissioners can do today.
So should I, after the meeting, I'll ask whatever the process is to get the Zoom call. Hopefully it's,
Go through Mr. Foster and Patricia. That's the process.
Okay.
And whatever they require, please provide.
okay. Yep, she has everything, so
Okay.
yeah, no problem. Okay, so for our quarterly report then, moving forward, you have all of our information. Since the last meeting, we have held 6 events. We have had 5 in Southern California, 1 in Northern California. Out of the 90 bouts, 180 fighters that participated in these events, we had 19 medical suspensions. We had 0 transports in all of these events, which we're very happy to report. We do have our calendar of upcoming events on the report that you have. We have a very, very busy schedule throughout March. And then we have a couple of events happening in April as well. For the commissioners that are local here to Sacramento, I would invite you to come to the event that we do have here in Sacramento, which will be on April 18th. Very, very popular event to come to. As some points of interest, again, very happy to report that we have no transports. We're very proud of our safety standards that we implement in the IKF. Since our last report, we've had 2 official trainings. We had a judges training in Northern California and an inspectors training in Southern California. And other than that, we're looking forward to a very, very busy next quarter. We have new promoters and new areas coming on, so you should be seeing a lot more events coming up on our future calendars.
Thank you.
Happy to take any questions.
Any questions?
I have a quick question that I'm just going to ask everybody, but it's quick. Chairman Villegas started out talking about concerns about weight cut. Is that something that presumably if we develop a program of training that you would be interested in providing input in and working with the commissioner?
Absolutely, yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, JT Steele with Camo is next.
Okay.
I believe it's probably on the internet.
Good morning, commissioners, Chairman Villegas. Great to see you. Chairman's preliminary remarks today is I think this is a year for MMA and boxing in California, and I think it's primarily driven because of the forward approach of this commission. Super excited to hear these things about the sponsorship and contributing to the MMA fund. There is no commission doing this type of thing around the country, and it's exciting to participate in them. So we're grateful for you, all of you. I really appreciate Executive Officer Andy Foster's comment. We're to try to revise some of these issues. I think it's really with promoter scheduling. It's important that we have rules that are reflective on CSAC policies, and they're also enforceable. It's a balance of fostering an environment that is conducive to business, but it also needs to be enforceable and predictable for the promoter. So I will I will gladly work with Andy to try to come up with a solution that I think reflects the right approach, and we can present that at the next meeting if you would like that.
Thank you, JT.
A quick recap to our report. We have a traditional slowdown over the months of December and January. It's always a seasonal slowdown in our sport. I think it's actually very helpful to have us slow down for a little bit. It allows us to do some housekeeping. We generally do a lot of training at that time, and it's the same this year. We've had some great trainings. We just had one last week, led by Mark Relier and CSAC. We're grateful for the support. And when we train together, we work together, and we're able to provide and build better officials for you guys for the future. We had our own as well in Northern California. We had people travel from all over the state in person. It was fantastic. And we're just grateful for all the professional officials who came and mentored the younger ones, because that's what it's about, right? It's not just about developing athletes for the future, but officials too. So if you have any questions about some of the remarks that Andy made, or some questions for us, happy to answer any of those while I'm here. If not, you probably have something to look forward to that I think will be helpful and meaningful on our next meeting.
Thank you, JT. We don't have any comments or questions. Just work with Mr. Foster, and hopefully we can improve communication with everyone as well to make it as smooth as possible moving forward on this issue.
Yeah. Smoothness and predictability, I think, is what everybody wants. And I appreciate your guys' time and attention to these, issues that are important.
Well, I don't have any questions on that issue, but again, as far as the weight cutting that Chairman Villegas mentioned, I mean, I strongly believe that those patterns get laid down when you're an amateur. Is that something that you're working on weight cutting rehydration? Is it something that you're interested in getting training on if we try to develop a program for that?
I would love that. We don't have nearly the same amount of weight cutting issues as they do in the pros, right? There's a lot more pressure to be able to drop a lot more weight and get a strategic advantage in professionals than we do at amateur. But I wholeheartedly agree that the earlier that we can start these patterns of behavior, the better off our athletes are going to be. So, I think amateur events and professional events, they have different resources. So I don't think, I think that there could be some modifications to what we're doing that is going to prepare the athletes better for when they're in your with the commission or Andy, and to develop exactly what we would like this amateur program, these amateur weigh-ins to look like. I think it would be fantastic.
Thank you, JT. Anything else for JT? Thank you.
I appreciate you all. Thank you very much.
Commissioners, one thing I would point out regarding camo with the weight cutting versus CSAC, and this is not the golden ticket. I'm just telling you, they have same day weigh-ins, so there's going to be less weight cutting for the most part. The problem with same day weigh-ins is every now and then you'll have somebody who decides that they're going to do it anyway. And then that becomes the problem. And everybody remembers the boxing match where that issue was developed. So it's not a silver bullet issue, but they would have less problems because they have same day weigh-ins.
But I do applaud Commissioner DeMar's comment and focus on the amateurs, that these individuals learn how important it is when they're in the amateurs, not later on in the pros.
And when you're a pro, you might have a nutritionist, you might have a lot of support. When you're an amateur, you got nothing.
Right. Okay, thank you. Mr. Foster?
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Next, we have do we have a representative from USA Boxing? Okay, so their reports in the packet. Joe Stevenson's here in person with USFL.
Joe, how you doing?
Doing good. Thank you for everyone's time. This is a slow time due to high school wrestling season. It tends to be some of our best athletes are developed in that time. So often November, January, and February is when it ends in California. We've had one event. We've had 11 bouts, no injuries, and we are preparing for the national championships, which will be in the city of Orange, expecting about 200 competitors. We're holding it within 3 days, separating it by age, same day weigh-ins. We don't allow weight cutting. We try to educate the kids about eating right and making sure that they're in their walk around weight.
When is that?
That's going to be the 27th, 28th, and 29th of this month.
At Chapman University?
City of Orange. So it'd be at IDOC Arena, which is a
Oh, okay.
small little area there. Any questions for anyone?
I have a question. Do the individuals that participate in high school wrestling, CIF, they're also...
A lot of them are some of the top tier. What happens is wrestling is a very difficult sport. It teaches you to overcome perseverance through adversity. And at a young age, our kids will start jujitsu, which is a little bit easier. And then they'll learn that wrestling makes them better all around. Then they'll start in junior high and high school wrestling. And honestly, there's scholarships and things to be awarded there.
But do your fighters, are they active under this organization while wrestling season is going on in high school?
During wrestling season, they tend to stick to just wrestling because it's that difficult.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for your time.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, next we have Ivan from WACO.
Hello, members of the Athletic Commission. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yeah, hello. Welcome.
Hello. Hi, it's Ivan Ramos. So we started for Q1. We had two scheduled full contact events. We started off with a full contact tournament. We had for both events, we had 72 bouts with 220 rounds. We're proud to report that no medical transports were needed. With these two events, there were 11 suspensions, 11 of them being TKOs, no knockouts. I want to reiterate in terms of the weight cutting. I think a big part of for the tournament, there were only 8 TKOs and no knockouts. I think a big part of it was because we had the day of weigh-ins as well as everyday weigh-ins. So that did contribute to athletes not weight cutting. So I think the more we educate athletes in terms of the benefits of not weight cutting and competing at their normal walk around weight, once they transition to pro, hopefully they stay at that mindset. So yeah, I do agree. I'd love to have our organization be able to participate in any upcoming CSAC programs that prevent weight cuts, especially in the amateur side. But in terms of training officials, we had a workshop as well prior to our tournament, led by Dan Stell. We do plan on having another training actual workshop seminar stated for April. So we want to be able to have as many qualified officials during our events. I welcome any other questions that you may have.
Any questions? No, thank you. Thank you for the update.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Chairman. Anthony from ISKA, and I know Corey is, I think Corey's on as well because he's He texted me a while ago, but I know that the Anthony's on for ISK.
Anthony? Moderator?
This is a moderator. I see Anthony is unmuted, but I'm not hearing any audio. Anthony, you may want to check your WebEx audio settings. I put up a slide. And this is the moderator, Anthony. If you are speaking, we cannot hear you. You may want to try calling in by rerouting your phone, your audio to your phone. I put it up.
Okay, moderator, until we can hear them come back in, we'll move forward with the agenda.
Sure.
Mr. Chairman, next item on my report to the commissioners, and hopefully the commissioners can see this on the screens, is I have a PowerPoint, and I'll give the moderator a second to get the PowerPoint put up. And I got to say, this is largely for the benefit of Commissioner Van Gordon Souter back years ago requested I start doing this, and I've done it pretty much every year since then. But he always liked to see kind of where the commission was at on a calendar year period. A lot of times I provide you fiscal year reports, but this is 2025 from a calendar year perspective. And one of the things I'd point out as we go through, I'll point it out, but you can see how the exit of TV from boxing has impacted the commission, and we're gonna kind of go through that. Okay, go to the next slide, moderator. Next slide's just the mission statement of the commission, and then next slide. So you can see that the commission is still, and by the way, probably the last of the 50 states. We're a boxing heavy state. Okay, go to the next one. Now, this is a kind of hard to, unless you see, but you can see in 2019, the commission regulated 156 professional events. And then the next year during the COVID, the commission did 40 events. 2021, it wasn't quite back, did 70. The next year, we're kind of moving back up 2022. Then there was 148 events in 2023. And then you start to see some drop off in some of our TV partners. And we went to 129. And then 2025, we went to 117. Okay. Go to the next one. Okay. The commission regulated 27 events with our tribal partners in 2025. And these venues include the Chumash Resort, the Chicken Ranch, Pachanga, the Eagle Mountain, Fantasy Springs, and Hard Rock here in Sacramento.
Andy, did any of the tribes do any events without us, or we're 27 out of 27? Did they do any events without us? But we're 27 out of 27 events, right?
Well, sir, many tribes, less than used to be, many tribes do mixed martial arts events without us, although that's less than it used to be. And they can legally do that, but more and more tribes are working with the commission now.
Thank you.
And then you can see the next slide, moderator. You can see the event gate revenue. And the big chunk is boxing. The next biggest chunk is mixed martial arts. Then kickboxing is smaller. And you can see that the bare knuckle provided 5% of the commission's overall revenue in 2025. Now, commissioners, I would point out that with the loss of the TV revenue that you're going to be seeing coming on the next chart, that bare knuckle revenue helped to close the gap. Didn't totally close it, but it helped. I'll go to the next one.
Am I reading this right? So there were far more boxing events, but MMA accounted for most of the gate revenue? Because on the previous slide, you said 59% of the gate revenue, or 59% of the events were boxing, and here you say 59% of the revenue is MMA.
Commissioner, that number, and it may be the color, but it's 29% of the revenue was for mixed martial arts.
Okay, so it's backwards.
Okay, yes. Go to the next one. All right, so this is kind of an interesting piece. 73% of the television revenue came from boxing, 16% from mixed martial arts, 11% from bare knuckle, and then the kickboxing or the combination events, that's negligible. 0. All right, go to the next one. All right, now this is an important. I think this kind of points out what needs to be shown. TV revenue is on a decline, and when you're in a boxing heavy state and you've lost your boxing partners and they're out, you can see why this would make sense. And this is what I've been bringing to the commission's attention for the last several years, is this is playing out in real time. Now, I'll also make a prediction to this commission that I believe that this line is going to stabilize this year and going to start moving the other direction, back up. I think that for a variety of reasons, but that's what I predict. Okay, on the next slide. In 2025, the commission regulated 40 sanctioned title fights in boxing and 33 title fights in mixed martial arts. This is an increase in boxing title fights, but a decrease in mixed martial arts title fights from 2024. Some of this has to do with, as you saw, commissioners, we had less events, remember that, but more title fights. Okay, so this one has to do with the proliferation of titles that we've brought up in the past. Go to the next slide. So while the number of title bouts has stayed consistent since 2023, TV revenue has continued to drop. Okay, what this means, commissioners, in a practical standpoint, is fighters' purses are also dropping at the same time that TV revenue is dropping. There is a correlation between the two. Go to the next one. The commission administered 66 what we call full spectrum WADA tests of the full things. Those are very expensive for the commission, and 253 instant tests. Go to the next one. In 2025, the commission collected a total of $114,284 for the fighters' pension fund, for the $72,923 to the boxers, $41,361 to the MMA pension fund. Now, if AB 2130 was to pass, and we're able to take that avenue, those numbers should be significantly increased in the future, significantly increased by a multitude of factors. On top of the fact that our license plate, the commission's license plate, is getting closer. Now you can see the pension distributions, and Commissioner DeMars and Commissioner Fiore have just received some questions, and I helped them with this, and I can provide this to the other commissioners because I think it would be interesting to see the payout over the last, like, say, 20 years. But you can see the pension distributions. We've been trying to give out more and more money, and in the last 13 years, the commission has given out like $4.4 million in pension distributions, which as I reported to you earlier today, the corpus of the fund's right at $5 million. And for the fact that the fund is able to maintain that while still being able to give up that amount of money is in my view, somewhat impressive. So the fund's in good shape, and it has money to meet its obligations. Prior to 2020, prior to COVID, the commission had 6 analysts. Currently, the commission has 3 analysts. We're not hiring any new additional employees because the commission's tied to the gate revenue and tied to the amount of money the commission can generate, and our fund has declined due to COVID, and we've not been able to really recover in that manner. So this is my report to you at the end of the fiscal year, or not fiscal year, calendar year 2025.
Andy, I have a question. You said a couple slides ago that you anticipated boxing TV revenue to increase, and I'm wondering why you believe that. I mean, Zuffa's coming on the scene, and ostensibly from what I've seen and what I've read, they're doing the majority of their events at the former Apex Center, now the Meta Center in Vegas, and occasionally at T-Mobile. So what leads you to believe that we're going to see an increase?
A few reasons. ESPN has just signed a deal with MVP. Okay, that's number one. Okay, Top Rank, I feel very confident it's going to get a deal soon. Okay, I think that the federal legislation, should that pass, will have UBOs, including Zuffa Boxing, appearing in California, certainly at some of our tribal partners, but will be appearing here in California. I feel confident that Golden Boy is going to get this worked out with. I'm sure you read the press with what's going on. I feel confident that will get worked out, and I feel confident that Golden Boy is going to renew that contract. So I feel like I feel like it's going to change. I feel like it's going to come back.
Thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Foster? No? Thank you. And thank you for the summary. Next on the agenda is upcoming event schedule.
Yes, sir. That's in your packet, and certainly, please, commissioners, go to any events that you'd like to. We have a nice event with 3 title fights. Well, it's actually 2 title fights. The Barbosa fight, unless it's changed as of a few minutes ago, it didn't have one. But next on Saturday, you're going to that, sir. A nice event at the Honda Center in Orange County. I would encourage everyone to try to make your plans for May 16th in Los Angeles, in Inglewood.
I'm planning on being there.
Yeah. But any of the events that you'd like to go to,
Okay.
I'd love to have you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Any public comment on items not on the agenda? Moderator, did Anthony ever come on?
This is the moderator. Anthony, can we have you unmute yourself and see if we can hear you? It appears not.
Okay. All right. Next time, Anthony. Any moderator and public comment from folks on the line?
This is the moderator for members of the public on WebEx. If you would like to make a public comment for items not on the agenda, please click the raised hand icon, or if you're an audio-only participant, you can raise your hand by pressing *3 on your device. And it looks like I do have a request from Eric Hamidi. And Eric, you'll be given 2 minutes to speak and a 15-second warning. Please click the unmute me button when the prompt appears on your device.
Hello, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. So yes, my name is Eric Hamidi, and I want to state that I am a media production member as well as a combat sports podcaster. And something that I want to bring to the Athletic Commission's attention, which is not on the agenda.
This is the moderator, Eric. It sounds like maybe your audio suddenly went out.
Is it them or is it us? Okay. Moderator, give it a few more seconds.
Okay, are you able to hear me?
Yes, this is the moderator. We can hear you again.
Okay, I'm just going to stay in one place. So, sorry about that. I'm walking, but basically, I know you didn't discuss this, but I wanted to give a comment about the Muhammad Ali American Boxing Revival Act. I know that there were some congressional meetings that happened yesterday, and there was a discussion about increased drug testing, which I know is a concern for smaller level shows in the sense.
Okay.
This is the
All right.
moderator. Apologies, Eric. It sounds like you got cut off again.
Okay. Sorry, Eric. Before we adjourn, I do want to again say how excited we are for 2026. Thank you, the fellow commissioners, for all your leadership, all your guidance, all your engagement, Mr. Foster, and also the staff that makes this train really keep on track and run. So shout out to Claudia, Lee, and Monique. And of course, Patricia, thank you guys for keeping us moving and doing what you do. One last try for Eric. Is he on or no?
This is the moderator. 1 second. Let me request to unmute him again.
Yeah, you could send the comments, Eric.
Yes. I
Okay,
don't know if
last
you're
try.
able to hear me.
Here we go.
Okay, so my concern is just basically for club shows or smaller promoters, them being able to afford the drug testing. And this is just a continuation of general concerns that I have as far as the Revival Act benefiting one promoter. I know there was also amendments as far as the 6-year contract lengths, but as a California resident, I'm concerned about what type of impact that's going to have because I feel that's a very long period of time to have a contract. And also, if it does benefit one entity, that would affect my way of working because I think there'll be a general overall decreased interest in combat sports. And I know that there was an amendment that was proposed from Senator John McCain called the Professional Boxing Amendment Act. I would ask for the Athletic Commission to consider that. That is something that I've learned from a podcast I follow hosted by John S. Nash called Hey Not the Face.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anyone else, moderator?
This is the moderator. Appears there are no further requests for public comment at this time.
Thank you very much. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.